Hi, welcome back. So in these examples, we'll be looking around how to create a procedural content generator, like an example, like in a small forest. Instead of painting with a traditional method called foliages, we'll be seeing through the PCG method. So I have created two small levels here. So which you can see, like we have. Let me turn off this lights here. Maybe this and this. Yeah. And then maybe under the sky, let me pull this one. Yeah. So you can see right now, it's a small set of forest which has been done. And on your landscape, we just painted everything. And this is completely done through your procedural content generator method, right? So, and then I have another example. So, which is again a similar concept of generating a procedural forest, right? And you can just go to that inside. You can add as many as you know static meshes inside through the surface, right? And then this is a very good example. We have created a path, so that also will help you to generate meshes accordingly. You can see right now as the path moves on, it'll be like automatically generated. Contingent so that it will be easy when you're creating a structured building, city, landscape, anything, maybe based on the road, you want to recreate the assets and all rather than realigning the positions and all. That will become easy method to start up, right? So let's get start with this. We'll be dividing into two parts. One is the first method of creating a content. Second method, we'll be talking about how to create a path and how to assign the path on your to your PCG, right? So let's get started. Before you start this process, very first thing, just get into the plugins tab and search for an option called procedural. There's an option called procedural content generated framework. Make sure this tab should be enabled. Once you do that, it's going to ask you to the restart. Just use a button called restart right now. That's fine. And let's say, save all. I'm just creating a new level. Say blank. Let's go PCG. I'm just creating it. Yeah. So you can see right now we just have a blank environment right now. Inside this, let's start working with your landscape first. Go to the landscape. And I don't need this big landscape. Maybe a smaller one will do for this exercise. Let me do by 2 by 2. Um, right? That should be good enough for me to start. But the concept remains same. You can just use it. And if you see right now, this is one important thing. Before you create a landscape, we can assign a material, what kind of material the landscape should be taking over. So you can just drop a material here. So I have some couple of materials here. So you can just drop a material there. The surface will be generated through that, right? So just use this one now and use an option called created. That's great. So you have come back to your selection mode. Use your regular method of environment light mixer. So skylight, atmospheric, sky, cloud, fog, and so on. Now I can see your surface has been created, right? And then it's pretty much there on your environment. That's fine. And now go back to your PC test. Now, first of all, I'm going to create, once you enable your plugins, you'll be seeing this tab called PCG. Just go to the PCG and go to your PCG graph here. As our name was set to blank underscore PCG, let me go and say PCG graph, blank underscore PCG underscore, right? So next, I'm just created a blank project graph here. Now, double click here. And you see two things now. One is input, one is your output. So you can go to your input session. We will keep it output like for the second out. Look, first thing, as we are targeting on our landscape, can you see there's an option called landscape right over there. From the landscape, just drag it up. Search for an option called surface sampler. surface sampler, and do that. And once you do, what you can just do is you can drop this PCG onto your viewport and see the PCG has been added to your environment. At the same time, double click on PCG, select it, press D in the keyboard. Now, can you see right now, once you press D for debug, that's good. So now what it does is it's going to sample different assets according to your the color sessions actually. Means you can do specify, the tree should be on this white boxes, and plant should be on this, a rock should be on this. You can able to keep dividing based on the color choices actually. Once we have a surface sampler by pressing D in a keyboard. That's good. Now, once you have done, now you need to separate them by the basis of this higher whites and grays and blacks and all separating. So from this, what you can just do is use an option called from the output, bring it option called density noise. Right? Can you see right now? There's an option called density noise. Just add it. Now press D again. You still see the same thing. Now you can see that you can have a minimum and maximum, and maximum just setting to 0.5. Can see the whites has been gone right now. Maybe I can set it to 0.2, 0.1. Can see it's just showing only your black stuff of your density, right? Maybe 0.3. Slowly, you can able to do. So next assets we'll be giving between let's say 0.3 to 0.5. I'm giving it. So you'll be getting a different color shared so far. And then again, next example, I'll be starting with 0.5 to 0.8 or something like that. So you have little whites. So that's how you'll be separating your different assets for your through your density noise. So let's do that quickly. So let it be 1, and let me say it as 0.2. That's good. Next is after the noise, now use an option called as filter, which is nothing but density filter. Density, and we search for an option called density filter there. So do that. Now you can decrease this again, do the debug for this guy. It should be visible. Yeah. So yeah, can you see that? So you can do specify how many points you want, and whether you want a higher density or whether you want a lower density. You can just do that. But density you can control here. Maybe let's say 0.5. You can see those white colors has been displayed, and then we have fill in the whites, which has got this one. Looks good. Once you do this, next is right now, if you notice all the assets, whatever assets you're going to come, you see, notice now it's all box, 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 box. They are not having a different rotations actually. To do this, use an option called transform. You can see there's an option called transform points. Enable that, and just use the rotation value called as 360, and disable this one for a second, and then disable this one. Now you can see, even though they come with the same size, but again, can you see they are placed in a different rotations actually now. Now, to bring the asset right now, what you can just do is you can go back here from this one, use an option called static mesh, static mesh, static mesh corner, enable it, and you see here there's the different mesh here. You can see this. Can you see there's an option called mesh entries right now set to 0. What you can do is we can add the entries from here. Click on the first symbol right now. Let's do that and go to the index. Can you see the description? Can you see right now there's an option looking for static mesh right now. So what I do is I have some downloaded from library here, Megascans. So I'll be going there and then going to the geometry and then see some of the such assets we have. So what I do is I'll drop this asset right over there. That's fine. Now you can see those assets has been placed under those boxes. Now, if you don't want to see this black box, the reason is it is still under the debug mode. So what you have to do is press D one more time they'll be get disabled like that. Can you see? That's nicely the trees has been placed. Next, now, what if in case you want to place another plant with a different size and different rotations now? What you can just do is copy this entire process. Maybe you can leave it. Otherwise, you can replace the mesh, whatever the mesh you have. I'm selecting all together, Control C the keyboard, just paste it up. Now, again, I'm connecting the surface to your landscape. It's fine. Now, again, maybe you can, for time being, now I'm just disconnecting, Alt in a keyboard, disconnect it. Select this, and press D in a keyboard. Now, can you see? D right? It's fine. Seeing it. Sample this. Yeah. So you can see right now we got a new this thing. And again, density noise. Now I'm just increasing little noise higher. And then density filter. So can you see? Again, I'm controlling the number of. I think this is connected. I think maybe that's the reason. Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Because this is visible. I'm sorry. So press D again. You can see that. And then density noise. And disable this. And then density filter. So we have disabled this. Now you can control that. Can you see? You're adding as many as in, lower points. And then transform points. That's good. And again, press disable this one right now and disable this, enable this. Next, maybe if you want a little extra points, can you see? Slowly we are increasing the points amount. That's good. So once you do, that come with the different places. Or you can do is there's an option called seed. So you can just change it. So it's overall reflect your new seeding for your properties actually, right? So you can just keep checking it. That will also good. Next is again, I'll connect to my sampler. That's fine. Under the static mesh this time, let me pick some plants right over there. Can you see we have a couple of plants here right now? I'm just adding one. Now I want to add one more. Click again on the second one. So I have the second index right now. Go to this and then pick the second plant right over there. So in that ways, we just added a couple of them. Now press D again and then D in a keyboard. Now you can see this. The plants should be visible. You can see that the size of the plants is very small, so you can see that it's nicely done. And if you add this also, you can see we have this one and this one. Now maybe for this example, I want to add some rocks kind of thing, or maybe other elements from the last project. So I'll do again what I do. I'll just copy all together. Control C in a keyboard. Control V. And just bring it. So just connect it. And this time we have two measures right now. Let me grab this. Got it. So go to your mega scans surfaces assets, right? Can you see that we have stump kind of thing. So let me go ahead and then instead of this, so I'm adding the surface and then tree burn trunk. And this is for the one. And for the second one, just add a second. But right now, we just copied from the same place. Can you notice right now that the small tree bushes as well as the tree both are in a same places? But what you can just do is you can go to the sampler and use an option called reseed them. Can you see that? Once you reseed them, it goes to different places actually there. That's also very possible. So like this, any kind of surfaces you want, anything you want to connect it. The simple way of connecting is you have your input node and start connecting a surface sampler, denoise, defilter, density noise, density filter, transform points is going to give you variations as well as the static meshes now. So what if in case you want to come these trees with a different sizes, that's also can be possible. You can see, I think this our first one is our trees, right? Correct. So what I do is I'll go to the transform points here Now, can you see we have a minimum scale and maximum scale? So start with 1 and the maximum scale is 1. Now, first one, I'm going to make it as 0.6 right now. Can you see smaller? And then say it as 0.8 right now. Yeah, little bigger. So now you see each and every tree, they are quite little smaller trees and bigger trees are maybe like, yeah, just make it 0.2. So you can see a difference right now. Can you see the size right now? The smaller one and bigger one. You can do so. Hope this session will be helpful and we'll catch up with adding a path in the next session. Thanks for watching.